One of the reasons passions run so high over the death of Trayvon Martin is that for many, it reinforces the belief that a black teenager's life simply holds little value. Joining me this morning are three students from Dillard High School in Broward County. Rickia Brown, Kirsten Dudley, and Arsene Frederic are all members of Dillard student government. Thank you all for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, in unison. I like it like that. All right, I want to get right to it because you heard what the president said, and let's start there. Do you think that that you are buffeted by negative energy so much that you have a difficulty sort of succeeding?
At some point, every child may encounter situations like that, but I do feel as though every child needs a role model. They need somebody to be there, and every child needs a backbone.
Now are you all seniors at high school? Yeah. So you're all 17?
Yes, we are all going into our senior year.
17 years old?
Yes.
Do you, let me ask you the tough question. Do any of you believe that society views your life as being less than that of a white student?
Sometimes we can get counted out because people feel that just because of our race, we may not be as smart or we may not be able to do things as other kids, and we are stereotyped a lot. But opportunities, it's all about the choices we make, and time and time again, we can prove ourselves.
But when did that first show itself to you? I mean, when did you first feel that somehow you may be viewed as less than?
I never really viewed that I was less than because I come from a very diverse background. But for boys going into it, like, a lot of people misunderstand them. And just because you come from a certain place or you look a certain way or you talk a certain way doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have what it takes.
Let's talk to Arsene. Arsene,
okay.
Do you get that feeling? Do you think people look at you and think one thing, think a certain way about you just based on how you look or how you present yourself?
Yes, I do think that, and like deep down, it makes me upset just to know that I can't walk down the street and someone would think I'm going to maybe rob them or do something negative to them.
You said, we were talking during the break, you said your parents at one point did sort of have a talk with you about
yes.
how to handle yourself. Yes. First of all, when did they have that talk? How old were you?
They had that talk with me multiple times, but well, the one I can recall of is recently when the verdict for the Zimmerman case came about. What
did they tell you?
My mom told me that if a policeman was to ever stop me, to make sure I get out the car and spread my hands.
She explained that to you?
Yes.
Do you think that that's a conversation that parents are having with white kids in suburban neighborhoods?
Actually, no, I don't think that's a conversation, no.
Why did she say that she felt that she needed to have that conversation with you?
Because she was not happy with the verdict, so I feel that's something that African American parents feel they need to have with their child, especially if they're a black male, and I honestly don't blame them on that.
Talk to me a little bit about when you see all the activity around the Zimmerman case. Do you think you look at that case differently than, for instance, I look at that case?
It all depends on your view, but yes, it does, because me living in the black community, I feel for every black mother and African American dad who, has to take on that job of parenting, because they have to worry about their child as well, going out on the streets and being bothered and having to deal with something similar to this and nothing being done about it.
We talked before, I was asking, do people know folks who've been shot? You said that hearing gunshots in your neighborhood, that doesn't surprise you.
I mean, it's not really surprising. I mean, living in that area for so long, it's depressing.
What part of town do you live in? Where do you live?
I live in Golden Heights, but it's surrounded by so many black communities with so many youngsters and so much crime and violence. So it's...
Let me ask, do you feel optimistic about your futures? I mean, I'm sort of curious, because that's what it really comes down. Do you feel optimistic?
Yes, I feel optimistic. I feel like I have a fair chance, just like everyone else, and it's up to me to take hold of my chance, and it's up to me to make smart choices.
You agree with that?
Yes, I do.
Talk to me about that. What do you think your prospects are? You feel optimistic about the future for yourself?
I can agree with what you said. Like, I feel it's my responsibility as a person in the United States, because everyone is offered that opportunity. So I feel once you get the opportunity, you're supposed to take advantage of it in every way you can.
You're the president of the student government. I'll give you the last word. You feel optimistic?
A little bit, but I feel as though I have the same opportunity that anybody in America, anybody around the world will actually have. I work as hard. I don't feel as though I should be looked at any different than anyone else.
Do you worry that you are sometimes, though?
I do.
All right, we'll have that be the last word. Up